Hello, my name's Lindsey and I'm from the Hunter Bird Observers Club and I sit on the Hexham Swamp Rehabilitation Committee, which meets about 4 times a year, and I think I've been on that committee for maybe 4 or 5 years now. The Hunter Bird Club is based in Newcastle and it's got a membership of about 250 people, and one of the things that we like to do is actually to try and do some monitoring of birds so that we have some data so that we can actually say that there are this many or that many birds or this many species living in a place. Now, Hexham Swamp would be the probably the most important wetland in the Hunter Estuary system, and for a number of years, as you know, when the tidal gates at Ironbark Creek were closed off, the whole swamp became a grassland. Now, anecdotally, from the stories I've heard, people say that thousands of birds were on Hexham Swamp before those tidal gates were closed, and black swans, numbers of species of duck, shorebirds, all sorts of things used to come here. So when the wetland became a grassland, the bird population dried up, and when it rained, of course, and the swamps got water again, then some of the birds would return to it. But they weren't here on a permanent basis. Now, with the opening of the tidal gates and the reinstatement of some saltwater flow to the swamp, what that's going to do is create or recreate a mosaic or a variety of habitats that'll be freshwater, I guess, I'm guessing here, supposing that it'll be fresh water at the most western side, salt water at the most eastern side, and there'll be brackish in between. So that's going to change the, provide much more variety of habitat. And probably what it'll do also is create a mosaic of habitat. By that I mean there'll be islands, exposed islands, perhaps exposed mudflats. And what that's going to do, of course, is bring back the birds, because, birds like variety. Variety of habitat provides more food. Birds need food. So in stage 2 of the project, we saw the return of many water birds. We had over 1,000 black-winged stilts come back. We had, very excitingly, the migratory shorebird called Hexham Swamp, which breeds in Japan. It returned. It's possible that some were already here, but they were certainly new to the site that Bird Club members found them. And we had as many as 14, which doesn't sound like very many, but for Hexham Snipe, that is actually quite a large number. Then we've had numerous black swans are starting to return, egrets, royal spoonbills seem to be here on a more permanent basis in the stage 2 time. But some of that also, it's a little bit hard to tell, because I guess stage 2 also coincided with the breaking of the drought in Western New South Wales and in inland Australia. And so what happened was, whereas we had thousands of that very mobile species called the grey teal, which really does follow the water in Australia, it follows flooding rains, they just completely vanished from the whole of the estuary. All of those ducks just all went west. The stilt, we had over 1,800 stilt here on Hexham Swamp. Suddenly we had no stilt. So that what we're seeing now, like as the years progressed in stage 2, the rain has kind of stopped in the inland. Gradually the birds are dribbling back into the Hunter. And certainly today, for example, we've probably seen more water birds than I've seen here for a while. One of the things that the collecting of data has shown over a number of years now for the Hunter region, for the Hunter Estuary in particular, is that this place is a very important drought refuge. During all of that terrible period of drought in the inland, we had here in the Hunter many species, large numbers of birds, and many species that one might expect to find in such large numbers only in the inland. So the Hexham Swamp is certainly a very beautiful place to come, right on the edge of the city, and it's the reinstatement of salt water is just going to improve the habitat.